Chad here with another Kinetics at home or travel workout. We'll go through our prep, sweat, and breathe portion today. As a reminder, there are rep ranges and ranges in terms of the set. That way you can adjust based on how much time you have, where your fitness levels are at, etc. If you need or want and you have equipment available and you can add it to some of these movements, you certainly can, but they are meant to be done without necessarily having equipment. So let's get started. Our prep piece, we have 3 to 4 sets of 3 movements: slow burpees, single leg floor touch, and a tall plank to down dog with a toe touch. So our slow burpees, we want to make sure we're hitting each position to the best of our ability. So I'm going to lower into a squat, step back into an instep lunge or stretch, come to a tall plank. From here, I either perform a push-up, and if I can't do push-ups, I'm going to perform a single shoulder tap to each side, step up into that lunge position with the opposite foot, return to the bottom of my squat, and stand. That's 1 rep. So a little bit more smooth or more fluid would look like this. Slow burpee. After that, we have our single leg floor touch. So I'm going to reach down with my opposite hand to my toe or the floor right in front of my toe. So from here, I'm going to reach down and back up. Here and back up. Bracing, okay, trying to control that movement. This should be kind of a blend between our single leg deadlift and an airborne squat. Last movement of our prep section is going to be going from a tall plank to a down dog position and then hitting a little toe touch. So starting in my tall plank, pressing back into down dog, touch, touch, and return. Okay? Nice and controlled and smooth. We'll complete our 3 to 4 sets there. We have a minute of the slow burpees. We have 4 to 6 reps of that single leg floor touch, and then we have 8 to 12 reps of the tall plank to down dog with the toe touch. After that, we're going to go into our sweat piece. We have 3 couplets, okay, or 3 supersets. So you will perform 3 to 4 sets of each pair of movements. The first pair of movements is an active foot squat and a reverse tall plank hip extension. What are those? Okay, so our active foot squat, I'm going to intentionally elevate my heels slightly off the ground. Okay, it may be hard to tell. I'll even lose my shoes for the video here. Okay, it may be hard to tell with my shoes on, but I'm going to keep my heels elevated in my squat position. The width of my stance is my normal width. I'm going to pop up onto the balls of my feet and then squat. Staying up on the balls of my feet for the entire set, right? The goal here being trying not to get off balance or shift really too far forward. I want to make sure that I'm still sitting the hips back between my heels. I'm still upright with my torso, all the typical points of performance for a squat. We have 15 to 20 reps there per set. After that, 8 to 12 reps of a reverse tall plank hip extension. So I'm going to need a couch or a bench or something I can elevate my feet onto. From here, I'm going to keep my arms extended. I'm going to brace through my belly, and I'm going to extend up into that reverse tall plank. Come back down, extend, back down, extend. Okay? I want to keep my belly tight and my legs tight during that movement. So all the movement's happening at my hip. Okay? 8 to 12 reps there. Again, we'll cycle through those 2 movements 3 to 4 times, take a little bit of a breather, then we'll move on to our next couplet, which is archer push-ups. We'll go 6 to 8 reps of those, and then 15 to 20 box hamstring curls. So our archer push-ups, we're going to take a nice wide stance with the hands, And I'm going to, similar to our lateral lunge, I'm gonna go down to one side, keeping the other side straight, kind of like a kickstand, okay? If you need to elevate your hands, you can certainly do that for these. You can also play around with bringing that one extended arm in a little bit closer and allowing the elbow to bend. So we're still gonna go down to one side, but you notice this side, I'm letting the elbow bend a little bit as a lead up to that archer push-up if you can't stabilize with a straight arm, okay? If none of those work, let's just get yourself into a wide position push-up, okay, and perform that same rep range. After that, we have 15 to 20 box hamstring curls. So I'm gonna go back to my couch or bench or box, whatever I have. Heels will go back up on here. This time, I want 90 degrees at the knees and the hips. And from there, I'm gonna brace through my belly, drive my heels down, and squeeze. Hinging up and extending that hip each rep. Again, 3 to 4 sets of that, of those two movements. It's 6 to 8 of the archer push-ups, and it's 15 to 20 of those box hamstring curls. After those are done, we'll rest a little bit, get a sip of water, and we're gonna go into a quadruped thoracic reach and a supine oblique crunch, okay? Our first movement, the quadruped thoracic reach. 8 to 12 reps here, alternating sides. I'm getting up onto my hands and my feet, and from here, I'm gonna press into the floor and reach. Try and open up my back, okay? I'm reaching, I'm actively pressing into the floor and trying to bring my arms up into a nice T position, okay? Maintaining a little bit of space between the floor and my knees. Trying to maintain my brace and limit the amount of side-to-side rotation I get when I change position. So I want as much movement in my upper back as possible without really shifting the hips or the torso. So we have 8 to 12 total reps there, alternating sides. After that, I will get down into my supine position here. So laying on my back, and I'm gonna brace my belly, hands are at my sides, and I'm going to reach for my heel or kind of mid-foot, depending on how far away your feet are, right? But I wanna reach to a target. Make sure you're not creeping your feet in closer and closer so your target's right here. I want you to actually have to reach to get to that touch point. So if it's your ankle or your heel, it's really irrelevant so long as you're keeping it about the same distance and you're getting that actual movement through the side of your torso. We have 20 to 24 reps of our supine oblique crunch, and that will be the last two movements that we couple for today's workout. So you'll go through those 3 to 4 times, and then you are all done with the sweat piece, okay? Lastly, we'll move on to our breathe section. Remember, do not omit these. Take the 5 minutes, close your eyes, do a little bit of breath work, okay? Breathing deep into your belly. Try and elongate all 4 portions of the breath. So long, controlled inhale, hold that inhalation, long, controlled exhale, hold that exhalation, and continue to cycle through that for about 5 minutes in our saddle pose. Let me grab a med ball here. So if you have something, you can certainly brace it underneath your back to create, I know for myself, I can't lay all the way back down to the ground. If you can, wonderful, do it, okay? If you can get down, I can get to my elbows, but I don't know that I could stay here for 5 minutes, maybe. I might try this and see if I could breathe into this position. Depending on how tight I am that day, I can do it. If not, I'm gonna grab a pillow, or in this case, I have a med ball or something to support my back that allows me to lay back into this position, opening up the hip flexors and the quads, right? And this is nice because I can also open my chest a little bit here and I can let the arms drape so they can relax out to the side. So if you have something, even the end of a couch or something like that would work just fine. But we'll spend our 5 minutes there. If you can extend it to 10, 12, 15 minutes of mindfulness and kind of combine the two, some breath work in there, and get a little meditation in, we definitely encourage you to do that. Enjoy the workout, guys. We'll see you next time.